Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the TalkBall Tweakers podcast, episode 43. I'm your host, Blake McQuarrie, back with my co-host, Jake Toussaint. How are we feeling, boys?
Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl champion. I mean, this is the first time we're hopping on the podcast to do it. Like, I don't think there's too much to talk about with the Super Bowl besides the Seahawks gave him belt to ass. But you know how much it means to me that Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl champion. So, like, yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
They had Drake. They had Drake May hearing saxophones all game long.
They had Drake May almost wanting to quit. Like,
Bro,
that was insane.
bro, straight ringing in his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that we have not had an episode since Jake's beloved Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl ring. So, glad Jake got to pop his shit real quick. But that's not why we're here. We are here to talk some hoops. It's officially
That time.
exclusively hoop season. A lot of college basketball, some NBA stuff we have to dive into, and of course, there's some tweakers out there. So, without further ado, let's talk
Talk ball.
ball.
Good enough.
First up, college basketball, college hoops. There's a new number one team in the country. That is the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue, baby. Um, but yeah, I want to just talk about just real quick. I know we talked about it, I think a few weeks ago in terms of like who kind of like stood out. We had a quick little college basketball segment, but I kind of want to talk about like this top five, top 10, because I feel like it keeps shifting. In terms of like the talent and how many talented teams are out there in the college basketball world this season. Um, just where does the talent stick out in terms of who you guys think has the most talent um on the team, and in that case, who do you think could ultimately win a natty?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan deserved to have the number one ranking next to their name. They were the best team in college basketball. I do think Arizona's a little too low because their two losses were one at Allen Fieldhouse where no one wins, and two against Texas Tech in overtime. Texas Tech's really good. But Michigan's the best team in college basketball right now. If people think otherwise, they're probably wrong. When you look at what Michigan's put on tape, on their resume, and everywhere else, I mean, you're not going to find anything better. Yaxel Lenenborg's one of the best players in college basketball. They've went into Breslin Center, beaten Michigan State. They are beating Purdue right now. I'm going to act like they're going to beat Purdue in this game. If they don't, it's a good loss. But let's say they go and beat Purdue. They play Duke later this week. That's another resume win. They've already killed some other teams too. And yeah, no, I mean Michigan has it all. And so I definitely think they're a step above everyone else, but I'm not picking them to win the national championship yet. We have some time there. Looking at the rest of the AP poll very fast, and then I'll throw it to you guys. Yeah, look, I like everyone in the top 10. I'll stand on my thing where Kansas might not be a top five team in America, but if Darren Peterson's going to lace it up come the NCAA tournament, I might pick him to win it all because he's that good. He's that good, and Kansas is that good without him too. You see everybody else and how they're contributing. I mean, Melvin Council's a dog. He's literally branded that. Fillory Badunga has been absolutely incredible. They beat Arizona without him. They against BYU, they what's it called? Held on without him. They beat NC State without him. I know NC State's not that good. Hopefully, North Carolina beats them tonight. Love Kansas. One more, and then I'm done. I swear. I like Illinois a lot. I like Illinois a lot. They're not going to win. I like Florida a lot. They have a real chance because they're picking it up at the right time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there's a lot of good talent in like this is they've been talking about it, but this is one of the most talented drafts. So there's like a really good freshman class, and like every single top 10 team has like a top freshman that you'd be like, this guy is like a franchise guy. Like he can be a top 10 pick in the draft. Looking at, the 25, top 25, like Jake was talking about Kansas. I like Kansas. They can win against pretty much anybody. They have the size. Darren Peterson, that's just the biggest what if. But I think come the tournament, he will lace it up every single game. I think they're just being cautious with him in the draft. I also like I mean, the interesting thing is that some of the back end in the top 10 I could definitely say that I wouldn't pick them to win, like Purdue, Nebraska. You talked about Illinois. I wouldn't pick them because their defense is just not as good. But I think there are just overall some teams that are just going to work differently than others. For example, Houston, I know they're number two in the country. They just lost to Iowa State at home. Iowa State doesn't lose at home. So, in a close race at the end, one possession game, just kind of looking at that, you got Kingston Flemings, Chris Senac Jr., you got two draft picks. Emmanuel Sharp is a sharpshooter. So I mean, kind of looking at it, I was looking at the different conferences. The Big 12 is probably the best conference. You have an argument for Big 10,
Loaded.
definitely Big 10. But Big 12, just like, I mean, even the back end of Big 12, like, I'll say this, for example. I watched Baylor. I watched a couple games with Baylor. Baylor has so much talent, they just haven't put it together all season. They got
Scott
Ant,
Drew, baby. Scott
they
Drew.
they got the Ant clone Tunde Yesufu. They got Cameron Carr, the Tennessee transfer, who's gonna go in the draft. Those are two first round picks. They have guys on that team, but they're 13 and 12 now, I believe. And so they're not gonna make the tournament. So like if that's at the bottom of the Big 12, like you're looking at teams that are just really, really good. But I think either a Big 10 or a Big 12 team is gonna win it this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Big 12 stacked. Big 10, obviously, also pretty stacked. I think in terms of teams that stand out and exclusively like top 10, I really like Illinois. I think what was Jake, you mentioned Illinois.
I
Um,
just don't think they're gonna win. I think they're super talented. They're the best team in the country in offensive efficiency. Like I just don't know
yeah.
if they can play defense that well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's where I see Illinois. I think obviously with so many years of Illinois being very good and then just not being able to get it done, um, I think obviously that's kind of spilling into the opinion here for me at least. But Illinois is a really good team. Keaton Wagler, obviously the freshman there, who was a baller, absolute dog. Um, it's just interesting to like when I watch his game though, it's like he's not doing anything really like special. He just shoots the ball and it goes in the net. Like it's kind of crazy to watch, but really like Illinois and then I think man like UConn is just they're back
Yeah.
where they want to be. They're back where they want to be. And I think they're a very dangerous team. I think obviously, they're in the top five, but it's not a lot of people are paying close attention to them. In terms of like all the other teams, like every other team that's in the top five is basically in headlines, and UConn's not really in those headlines too much. But I think, come March Madness time, come tourney time, like they're super dangerous. And then you got obviously Dan Hurley at the helm, who is come dirty time, Dan Hurley's that guy. Like you want to try and beat Dan Hurley, good luck in the tournament. So really, really like UConn. But I wanna go and I want to focus a little bit now on there are some teams who are outside of the top 10 who could very well win it, and it's because they have won very big games. I'm talking about Texas Tech and I'm talking about Wisconsin. Those two teams, their record doesn't really show it. Obviously, Texas Tech at 19 and 6, Wisconsin's at 18 and 7. But Wisconsin, I mean, you look at that resume, it's insane. They beat Illinois, they beat Michigan State. They're the only team in the country to beat Michigan. And then you look at Texas Tech. They just picked up a huge win on the road against Arizona. And then they knocked off BYU a few weeks ago. They knocked off Houston. So I mean, and we don't have to talk exclusively Texas Tech and Wisconsin. Maybe, if anybody else comes to mind for you guys, but like just in terms of teams outside those top 10, kind of focusing on Wisconsin and Texas Tech. I mean, could those two teams or anybody else very well win it all?
Texas Tech absolutely can. They were a Walter Clayton miracle away from the Final Four last year, and
Mhm.
they've been there before. I know we could go back to Chris Beard, but Grant McCaslin one of the best coaches out there. JT Toppin's one of the best players in the country too, and I don't think any team would feel comfortable if they had Texas Tech on their schedule. For me, it's just guard play there outside of Christian Anderson, but I really like them. They're given a good bracket. I think they could beat any team in the country. Wisconsin, I'm going to push back on a little, and it's not because I don't like what they're doing. I actually love what Wisconsin's doing after Nolan Winter crying in his press conference and said Wisconsin fans don't deserve this. Soft move, but it worked. They shoot the lights out. They have height, and I love Greg Gard as a coach. I've always liked Greg Gard as a coach, and nothing's changed that. One team I also want to say outside of the top 10 that can absolutely win it all, St. John's. St. John's, 11
Yeah.
straight. The biggest thing with the St. John's Red Storm at the start of the season was who is their point guard going to be. They still don't really know. It's either Ian Jackson, Osiah Sellers, or Dylan Darling. All three of those guys bring something different. Sellers could shoot the lights out. Ian Jackson, former 5-star, if he's on, he's on. And Dylan Darling just has so much gas in the tank and never loses energy. And again, like, look, I love Ade Mara and Yaxel. I love JT Toppin. I love Cam Boozer and Patrick Gongba. I don't know if there's a better front court duo in the country than Bryce Hopkins and Zuby Ejiofor. And because Bryce Hopkins is playing so well, and then you put in the coaching battle. Rick Pitino, 1, and 2, and then I'll stop talking. Go back to last year when they lost to Arkansas. They lost to Arkansas when they made 3 threes in the entire game. This St. John's team doesn't shoot that poorly anymore, and they're riding a hot hand. I don't think they're the best team in the Big East. I think it's UConn. But I think St. John's can absolutely win it all. And I think they're out for vengeance too, because I don't think a lot of people have looked at them recently, except for this week because of the Duncan Powell fight, early tweaker of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, that haircut is a tweaker of the week. Not the fight. Haircut was
It
terrible.
deserves 2
That
tweakers
shit
of the
is
week.
nasty,
He
dog.
deserved an extra game on top of the
Bro,
suspension for
It's
that.
disgusting,
That
bro.
haircut is nasty, dog.
It
It's
was
disgusting.
disgusting. For me, number one, I'll have to go Alabama. I've always liked Nate Oates as a coach, especially when he came from Buffalo over to Alabama. You got LeBaron Philon, who is one of the best guards in the country. And then you also have Aiden Holloway, obviously the Auburn transfer from his freshman year over. He's still there, averaging 17. You got Aiden Sherrill, who's really good, averaging 10 points. Latrell Wrightsell, who's averaging 12. They have what it takes to climb up within the next couple of weeks. They just have to put the, focus and they're going to be facing Arkansas tomorrow, the 18th. So that's going to be a really good one. I watched Arkansas play just the other day, and they are super athletic. So they're going to be a tough task. I also think, obviously, you could say UNC, obviously UNC. Obviously, when they get Wilson back, then they're definitely even better than they are. They only have 5 losses, so for them to only have 5 losses at this point in the season, even with the injuries and the up and down, it's pretty impressive to me. The other team I was gonna say that I think can win it all, for sure, is going back to back. Jake's team, the one that he predicted. I think Florida has found their footing. They're actually playing right now against South Carolina, but I think that they're really good in terms of they're the best team in the SEC. And so when you're the best team in a conference, you obviously have an opportunity to win it all. Xavier Lee struggled early in the season. A lot of people wrote him off, kind of was like, he kind of transferred from the Ivy League to the SEC. We don't really know. They stuck with him, got confident, and then now he had 22 against Kentucky. And so that was pretty impressive to me, how obviously returning. They have Clavzar. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Clavzar, yeah.
Clavzar, okay.
Clavzar.
Clavzar, just an elite shooter, like really, really lights out. Kanin Chinlu is one of the best defensive and rebounding. They did a kind of, comparison to Oscar Shibwe, who was a really good SEC rebounder and glass cleaner and really good inside the paint when he was with Kentucky. And then the only question I have about them is Boogie Flan. I think I need him to take a step up in the tournament because transferring from Arkansas, I thought he was going to say, okay, let me take it up a notch. You know what I mean? Because he transferred knowing Darius Cup was coming in, good guard play coming in for Arkansas, and now he's in Florida. He needed to be better. But if he's better, I think Florida can definitely win it a second time, even with a restocked roster. The only thing I had to say to your Wisconsin is I know it's like Wisconsin is good. Don't get me wrong. They're top 25. They're good. I just sometimes they play games where it's like that's the team that beat Michigan. Like
No, it
sometimes,
is.
sometimes they just
Yeah.
like disappear, and
Yeah.
that's what scares me. Because in the March Madness, the first two rounds you can get by that with breeze if you're a top 25 team. Once you get to that Sweet 16, Elite Eight level, you really got to lock in because that's where you got to separate. Because you can't listen. You can win games on miracles, but you can't win several games on miracles. Some of them have to be straight grit and tenacity. And for them, I just feel like they shy away from that almost. And like I just don't see that team that beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think they're widely talented and they can beat anybody at any given time.
Yeah. Jesus, Michigan's up 17. I did not see that coming. Or I didn't think it was gonna be this much of a blowout. One more thing, like I'm not a Florida fan, I'm just wearing this, but I do enjoy them and luckily have sources around the program. I think one of the biggest things with them, Xavier Lee had to understand his role. I think coming over from Princeton, it was a lot of hero ball. He was taking shots that were very on character for him in the Ivy League. Can't do that in the SEC, especially like look, I'm gonna bring it back. This is gonna be you guys are gonna laugh at me. I watched the Sam Darnold NFL Films redemption arc, and he said, "My job is to be the point guard of the offense." That is Xavier Lee's job to be the point guard and not play hero ball because they have Ruben Chinyelu, who's one of the best bigs in America. He's improved so much because they have Alex Condon, because they have Thomas Houck, who averages 18 per game. Like that front court is so good, they could single handedly win it. And Xavier Lee has like stepped back, but he's actually like taken a step forward because of that. And then I love you bringing up Carolina too. Look, like I know I'm a Carolina fan. Caleb Wilson's one of the best players in the country, and I genuinely do think, going back to your draft point, there are 6 to 7 freshmen that could go on a mellow type run come March Madness. You're talking about Kingston Flemings, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansa, Caleb. Like those guys could all do it. And so, no, I really like that. And my last thing about Wisconsin, I'm not going to pick Wisconsin to win anything until I actually see them win something, just because I'm so used to them losing in the big moments. I know I like Greg Gard. I like the talent they have. It just seems like whenever there's that test, they lose. And I'm talking about postseason, not regular season. Like I thought the team with AJ Storr when he was averaging 20 a game, they should have won much more, but then they lost to James Madison. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, I'm not gonna go against the points, like because like look, I could say this team's gonna win it all, and you'll be like, no, and we're college basketball. It's allowed, we're allowed. Like nobody knows what's going on. It's a 20-point game. Jesus fuck. Sorry. Jesus, Michigan's really good, guys.
No.
Michigan's really good.
Michigan's putting belt. We'll talk more about them in a second. Um,
Jesus.
real quick, I just wanted to. I think a team I think can win it is the Miami Ohio Redhawks. No, I'm just I'm just
And
kidding.
your tweaker of the week is
Shout out to the
Blake.
Mac. Shout out to the Mac though. We support Maction over
Yeah,
here.
hey.
Um, but no, I think one team that scares me a little bit is Nebraska. I know obviously I went on that rant about their fans a few weeks ago after Michigan had beat them, but
All justified.
Nebraska's a scary, scary team, especially when they are hitting. And obviously a team full of shooters. I mean, when they're on, and it's really scary. And obviously in that game they didn't have Mass or Fragger, so that could be something that's interesting with them matching up against Michigan again. But I mean, I just think in terms of shooting the ball very well. Like when you think about March Madness, obviously teams who shoot the ball very well have some success when it comes to March Madness because that's something that's very demoralizing in a March Madness game is when you're shooting the shit out of the ball. But I also think obviously, that can be a very quick downfall of a team is obviously when it's not your day and you ain't shooting the ball well, what are you going to do? So, um, I think, Nebraska can very well win it, but obviously they have to rely a lot on, um, their three-point shooting, and shooting well from beyond the arc. So, just wanted to shout out Nebraska really quick there. Um, if you guys want to add anything, you can, but obviously a lot of matchups that we have to highlight, on Saturday, which is the one that everybody's going to be tuning into, Michigan versus Duke, 1 versus 2. Thoughts on that matchup and give a prediction.
Yeah, Tucson, if you want to go first, I'll let you. But I just want to say it's the best matchup of the season so far. And I'll let you go first and then I'll give an actual preview. It's the best matchup of the season with the best players in the country.
Yeah, I think we want the smoke. I think we really want the smoke. Duke obviously has some absolute monsters on their roster. They got Cameron Boozer, Isaiah Evans, two draft picks, two first round draft picks. They have guys who come in and they got guys on the bench that could come in and play quality minutes, but that's because they're Duke, so they literally get every transfer that they want. Um, but in terms of Michigan, I think one thing is going to play to their strengths is the experience. Obviously, you got Yaxel, Yaxel, who's a grad transfer. You got Elliott, who's played a year. You got Mara, who's coming over from UCLA. You got guys that have played. You got Burnett, Namari Burnett, but then you also have Trey McKinney. You got youth. You have Morris Johnson Jr. as a sophomore. You have LJ Casey. You got guys who are older, but you got guys who are younger. It's not like a team. It's mixed, right? And so I think one thing that's always negatively impacted Duke in the tournament is the fact that is their youth. They've had teams that are definitely capable of winning the entire thing. I mean, when they had the elite one with Zion and Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett, they could have won it all and they lost to Michigan State, right? And I think some of it was just the inexperience. When you get down into March Madness, there is no sporting venue that can ever be replicated in terms of March Madness. There's not one. Professional playoffs of any kind can't be replicated through March Madness. And so the magic that you feel there, you have to be able to understand it. And so a lot of those guys, even if they might not have played or they played a game, they know the feeling. And so I think it's going to help Michigan in this sense. Obviously, it's a neutral court, so you can't have that lean one way or the other. Obviously, Duke is really good. Boozer, pretty good passer as a big man. Like I was watching his passing. I was pretty impressed by his passing. And then yeah, I mean, his brother's the point guard. They have good shooters. Like there's really no flaw to Duke's game. But I think Michigan's just gonna dominate in the areas that Duke is already good in and be better than them. That's what I really think the mismatch is gonna be at.
Yeah, I think the experience point is definitely justified. Like you can't replicate March Madness at any time. This is the closest it's gonna be. I don't even know who's technically the home team in it. But I think wherever you look on the starting lineups, you see a comparable. I mean, point guard, you have two juniors, Elliot Cadeau, Caleb Foster, two guys that have been around for a while. Neither guy is a prolific scorer, but they can go off and score, former five stars. And then you get into the guards and you have Dame Sar, who's been better. You have Namari Burnett. And then the best players, the power forward, Cam Boozer, Yexel. And then you have two bigs that are really tall, really good defensively, and are so around in Mara and Gongba. The one thing about Duke that I almost like about them going into the tournament, they've lost two games, right? They've lost two games. One was on a buzzer beater to North Carolina, and one was on a near buzzer beater to Texas Tech. So when that moment comes in March, I do think they're better equipped. But the thing with Duke that always has scared me is outside of Camp Boozer, who's going to show up because even Slim or Isaiah Evans, not Slim, has a bad night sometimes, like against North Carolina. And I think when you look at Michigan, it's very rare they have a bad night. And of course, like I'm stating the most obvious thing, like a 6-year-old could say, this is the most important player in this game is Cam Boozer. Cam Boozer is going to be the most important player in any game Duke plays, and that's not to disrespect Yexel because he might be as good. Cam Boozer is one of the most dominant players in the country, and moreover, he's won at every level. And so if he keeps dominating the way he is, Duke is going to win at every level. I think this game is going to be two of the highest quality teams out there. It's going to be one of the best games. I'd be very surprised if it was a blowout. I'm really excited for the under 8 and under 4, how these teams come out. I think the one other thing that favors Duke slightly, and it favors Duke slightly because of how good Michigan has been. How many close games has Michigan been in? It's not like Duke's been in more close games. They've been in like one or two more. But Michigan outside of Nebraska and outside of Wisconsin, you look at Michigan State, they pulled away at the end. That was great. Duke, sort of on the other side, they lost those and they haven't pulled away from teams as much towards the end. So it's just like who is going to be better in those final 8 minutes? Because that's going to be the preview of March. Because also, no disrespect here, two of the most disgusting fan bases in America. That place is going to be and you know I'm right. Duke and Michigan fans spread like parasites. And that place is going to be 50-50. And like I said, it's going to be one of the closest things to a neutral environment. And so who is going to make the individual play? Who is going to put their freaking body on the line and stuff? That's what I'm really excited for in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think obviously one thing that stands out to me with Duke is like their perimeter defending is, I mean, they've got the length and they've got the perimeter defending there to stop Michigan. Obviously, like, Caden Boozer's a great perimeter defender. Sarr is a great perimeter defender. Foster's a great defender overall. Like, he'll pick you up full court and just trail you the whole time. So it's like they've got the defending there to stop Michigan. I think on the other end, though, like you mentioned, Jake, it's like outside of Boozer, if Boozer's not hooping, who the hell is gonna step up? I mean, obviously, Isaiah Evans can, and very much if it's not an off night for him, he will. But yeah, like that's the interesting thing to me is like with Cam Boozer, it's his whole game is backing you down and little boying you into a bucket. I don't really necessarily see him doing that a lot. If there's going to be Moraz Johnson guarding him, or even Mara guarding him, or I think even Yaxel guarding him, he would be able to give him, a little test there. So it's like if Boozer's not going to be, on his game, who the hell is going to be on their game? And and then on the other side of things, like with Michigan, yeah, obviously, they don't have many off nights, and but also it's like with Michigan, they're so deep to where even if Yax is having an off night, or Elliot Cadeau isn't shooting the ball well, or Burnett's not, it's like Trey McKinney is there, LJ Kaysen is there, Morris Johnson is there. Like they have so many guys and they are so deep to where it's like even if their second best player is having an off night, they are still scoring the rock at ease. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very, very good matchup. I'm excited as hell to watch it, as is the rest of the country. So, do we want to give a prediction?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's go ahead.
Um, I'll start us off. Why not? I think I know what you guys are gonna pick, but we'll get there. Um, I actually one to save the board, and two, just because I have a weird intuition about it, I am gonna pick Duke. I'm gonna pick Duke. I think all your guys' points are valid. The biggest thing with Duke, like you said, if Cam Boozer's not scoring, who is it gonna be? I think Cam Boozer will score because I saw him in person against North Carolina. He had 0 points in the first 10 minutes and then still ended up with 23. The guy will get what's his, and that's not to disrespect any defense. He's just Cam Boozer, and I think you could say the same about Yexel on the other side. I'm looking right at Slim Isaiah Evans because he's not only one of the best scorers in America, he's one of the best like tough shot makers. And the way Michigan plays defense, you need a tough shot maker. And it depends on him and Dame Sarr. Dame Sarr, you're a 5-star from Italy. What are you going to do against one of the best teams in the country? Because he's played well in some of the big games. And then besides that, like I'm not going to give you a reason of why Michigan will lose this game because like honestly, that's impossible. Like I cannot say Michigan will lose this game because I'll say Duke will win this game just because Cam Boozer, I want to be different. And I really like the way that their surrounding players have played, in specific Caleb Foster and Isaiah Evans. And so let's go with Duke. I'll go with Duke. I think it's gonna be close. Like if we're doing a score prediction, I'll say 77-76 in a really close one.
Okay.
Yeah, you know who I'm going with. We going with the block. We're going with the block. I can't do that.
Put the block up, boy.
Block,
The
maybe.
block.
Um, yeah, I think interesting point you made, Jake, about Boozer. He'll get what's his. I think Dusty May's like he will get what's his. He'll probably drop a 25 bomb on him. Guess what? I think he says nothing more than 30. will live anywhere from 20 to 25. But I think the X factor is to play defense on Isaiah Evans. If Evans gets going, I think that they can compete. If they give Evans maybe 10 to 15, then they can live with that. If Evans has like 11 points, right, I think Dusty May will be happy. If he has 11, but Kane Boozer has 25, I think he'll be happy because the rest of them, it's like, where's it going to come from? If the other Boozer has what 5, 6 points, something really slim, guys chip in here and there, he'll be okay with that. I think he'll be fine with that. I think it's just the timely buckets. Down the stretch, will Boozer get his way? Will he drop the 25 primarily in the first half or in the first half, because there's no quarters, so the first half of the second half,
Mm.
um, coming out of halftime. But if he's not big down the stretch, if they close off the lane and they force him to shoot the ball more, I think that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go, oh, I think it's gonna be a less scoring game. I think it's gonna be a more defensive game than offensive. So I'm gonna go 65-60.
For sure. Um, I grew up a Duke fan
Yeah, the Duke
and a
fan and the
Michigan.
Michigan fan. I was gonna say.
I grew up both. Like I could go to the closet right now and rock both sides. Like it doesn't really matter.
Nah,
You know what
nah,
I'm saying? Like
nah.
I could really do both. I could pick both. The Blue Devils that's Duke, baby.
Hey,
That's
Jake, what do you call Blake?
that's
The
best
most
stuff.
disgustingly toxic fan
Yeah,
of all
like
time.
look, I'm not gonna act like I'm much better because I've been a North Carolina fan my entire life, and my affiliation to UNC is like a little sketchy, but I like the team. Michigan and Duke, like, look, you're more than entitled for what you like, and that's great. And if you care enough, great. That is fucking disgusting. It just is. Like, and look, that's because I grew up a Carolina fan and I've hated Michigan my entire
Hey,
life. And I went to Michigan for a year and it still didn't change my opinion. Just because the two fan bases are so toxic and disgusting. But then again, like we could think of a worse one. Like I'm sure you're thinking the worst fan is a UNC and Ohio State fan because those exist.
yeah.
Like, so no, look, you're more than entitled to it. It's gross. You're one of my best friends, but I hate that so much about you. And I hate it so much. Yeah.
No, but listen though, you feel me? It's Duke. This
Like, yeah,
is
like one more thing. One of the worst weeks of our friendship last year was when Duke beat North Carolina and we were at Happy Camper and then Michigan won the Big Ten tournament. I'm just like, there's no way they did, and they did. Like it sucks. It
Hey,
sucks.
hey, you know what, Jake? You know what you are? He said, let's go bang out right now. I hate you. Let's die. Let's go.
Yeah.
stop.
No, bro, exactly. Like, yeah.
Hey,
Okay,
that's all
continue.
I'm saying. Hey, y'all got one on us. It's okay. Y'all got one on us. It's whatever. Melo Trimble, shout out to him. But listen, this is Duke basketball, man. This is what it is. Cameron crazies, you feel me? So, obviously, you look at the matchups and the programs historically, like it, nothing really beats like Duke's beat Michigan, 9 times out of 10, So, um, with that being said. I'm a Michigan man at heart, though. I'm from the mitten now. I'm going to sit here and rep M Block, dude. Give me the Wolverines. Are you kidding me? Number one team in the country, boy. Yaxel Lenenborg, Elliot Cadeau, Big Boy Morez Johnson, Ade Mara, and we got LJ Kaysen and Trey McKinney off the bench, dude. Give me the Wolverines. I'm gonna go Wolverines 70, Duke 62. Eight
I
point
like that. I
eight
like
point.
that.
I like it. So
One more thing before we move. This is oh sorry, there's a ambulance cop car, one of those things. Charlotte is a dangerous place, apparently. Um, I hope Elliot Cadeau writes Tar Heel for life on his shoe like Caleb Love did when he was on Arizona and went in there and dropped 20. Like that would just be cool because this game, like I know he left. This game does mean something to Elliot Cadeau, and he actually played really well the last time those two teams played in the ACC tournament. So selfishly really excited to see what he does, and hopefully he brings out a little of the Carolina blue in him. And if I was forced to root for a team in this game, I am rooting for Michigan because fuck you, Duke. Yeah, fuck you. I was at the Seth Trimble buzzer beater.
double
This is the first time
birds,
since then.
dog.
I was unbiased as hell in the press box, by the way. Y'all would be proud of me. My reaction when Seth hit that buzzer beater, and I know Seth, like, yeah, that was insane. I kept the straightest face.
I could have swore I seen you wearing a North Carolina quarter zip.
No, I was because I'm talking about during the actual shot. I wasn't cheering. I wasn't the only one wearing a North Carolina
Missy
thing.
would be disappointed.
What, you got a whole North Carolina quarter zip on,
Yeah.
dude?
They told me, yeah, I was
Oh
talking to the
my
SID. She's like,
God.
yeah, if you Carolina blue, you can wear it. Like, yeah. I
If
was,
you have Carolina blue, you can wear it.
yeah,
I think Jake told them that the North Carolina emblem is the end
yeah,
that
you heard it. You heard it.
that's
I don't
crazy.
deny it. I was the unbiased reporter during the game, at least on the site.
Oh
That's
So,
man.
yeah, hey, we'll take it.
North Carolina quarter zip in the press box.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know,
Yeah,
actually
North
though,
Carolina.
I was one of 5 people in the North Carolina quarter zip in the press box. There were
I wouldn't even do no shit like that.
no, and that's completely valid. And I
That's crazy.
maybe I could have brought a button down, but once again, fuck Duke. So we're good.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Once
Dude,
again,
got hate in his heart.
yeah,
God.
exactly.
Insane work. All right. We got one more matchup though to highlight before we get into NBA. That's Houston versus Arizona. Number two versus number four. Let's do just a quick one so we can get to NBA before Jake's got to get out of here. But just give like, a quick breakdown of it and then your prediction.
Yeah. Here, I'll start us off. I'll be fast. Houston lost to Iowa State yesterday, but I genuinely think there's no team better in the country in these tough moments, these final moments. And I think you could go back to what's it called? To the national championship. I guarantee you Emmanuel Sharp every day can't fall asleep because of what he did in that final few seconds against Florida. And Houston's ridiculously talented too. Fleming's obviously, Chris Nack. You got Uzan, you got Sharp. JoJo Tugler is one of the best defensive guys. On the other side, Arizona got so much better too. Koa Pete is really good. Jaden Bradley's really good. Braden Burries is really good. Again, their 2 losses. I mean, both of these teams, all their losses have been close. I'm not really trying to differentiate anything here. If I'm just gonna get into a prediction just so we don't have to go around the horn. It's in Houston. It's a really hard place to play. I like Houston to win, especially because they lost yesterday. And I think Houston's one of the best equipped teams in America, and Kelvin Sampson adding fuel to the fire every time he goes. So give me Houston there.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on that same train. I think it's gonna be Houston too. I think both teams coming off a loss. Arizona, I feel like Arizona's was a little bit more tough, just based on the fact that they had Texas Tech where they wanted them and kind of let them go a couple of times. I think that really hurt Arizona was Cole Peak getting injured, not playing in the second half. So they relied heavily on Tove Awaka to be a rebounder. If Cole Peak plays, then I think it'll be a different story to the game. But I think Houston just definitely has more punches in the tank. I think they can keep throwing players after player after player. Whereas I think Arizona is a little more limited in their bench. And I like Arizona's bench. So you have Delorso, you got guys on there that you can play. Was it Guy? I think that was his name. He had to come in. Um, but I just don't think Arizona has enough in the tank to throw towards Arizona. And Arizona, obviously, one of the best defensive teams in the country under Calvin Sampson every year. They're just elite defensively. So I think, and like a couple months ago, I was looking at Arizona and they had to play through a whole entire gauntlet. Whoever made their schedule needs to be fired immediately. You have them facing like top 10 teams back to back to back to back to back, all on the road.
Yeah.
Like, I know you just had one that was home, but you're playing a good team. So now you're gonna go back on the road after losing two straight. I think there's a little bit of a slide here for Arizona. And then, after this game, they gotta play BYU, I think. I think it's BYU.
Before it's on Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wednesday. I mean Baylor after that. Baylor and then Kansas. Okay, that's what I was looking. Yeah. They got to play BYU, then Arizona on Saturday, and then Kansas the week after, like Kansas the Saturday after that. So they're still gone. And then after that, they have to play Iowa State. Like, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the Big 12 is nasty this year. So I think they slide in this game and then recoup it in Baylor and then get back on their feet.
Yeah. Um, I, I'm so torn with this. Obviously, um, I love the points you brought up, Tucson, about Houston and its defense. Like that's one thing that sticks out for me when I look at this game is Houston's just so good defensively, and they are every single year under Kelvin Sampson. Um, and I think when you look at guys, in terms of who can get it done, and you look at the deepness of a roster, like Houston's got it. Obviously Arizona's got a ton of guys, but Houston's got guys. Like they've got guys, and I think both teams have that good mix of like they have a few very good freshmen, and they also have a few very good guys who are upperclassmen and who
Yeah, they've been there.
they have experience. So it's a very good mix. I think this game is going to be very, very, very good. Um, I think it's tough for me to sit here and say that Houston loses two in a row. Obviously, with the loss to Iowa State, um, but also I it's more tough for me to say that Arizona after losing two in a row. I think obviously they get it done against BYU. Um, I don't see them going back on that losing skid here. So I'm gonna go with Arizona. I just think it's gonna be very, very tough, obviously, for them going into Houston to win. It's a very tough environment always, but especially defensively. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Arizona could still beat any team in America. Like, I still think I mean, what, a bad bounce or a good bounce for them, they're still the number one team in the country right now.
Yeah.
One more thing I'll say about them is come the tournament time, it always feels like they're a little short. This time, I think the experience is there. I think the depth is there, and I think that the talent's there too. The most obvious thing I'm going to say too is Koa Pete. Koa Pete put up an absolute stinker against Kansas. He was terrible. You can't do that, even if you're a freshman, because like all of these teams, like if you have a good freshman and they play like shit, you're gonna lose. So Koa Pete, you got to show up when JoJo Tugler's in your grill.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
ab-
in your grill.
absolutely. Um, yeah. Let's move over to the big leagues, NBA. We can just go real quick with this. Obviously, we're coming off a trade deadline and an All-Star break, so um, obviously we're not going to dive into the whole trade deadline, but looking at some of the NBA trades, I think in terms of who made deals, who do you guys think? What do you think was the best deal in your eyes?
Uh, you want to go first, Tucson?
I
I
can.
don't know.
Yeah, I can go. I mean, it was kind of this trade deadline was whack, to put it very bluntly. It was whack. There was really nothing that moved anything.
All bark, no bite.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty terrible. The
Jams is it?
best one was definitely Harden to the Cavs, except the thing is, to me, it really doesn't signal much because their problem was never that they couldn't score enough. That was never their problem. It wasn't, and I get that the playmaking, I get Garland has had a toe injury the whole year. He hasn't been available, but we can't pretend like James Harden doesn't disappear from the playoffs every single year. Every year he disappears. He does this. It's clockwork. Like he goes to a new team. Jake knows very well. He goes to a new team. He has the honeymoon phase of I'm dropping 20 and 20 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Everything looks sexy. Everything looked great. Then the playoffs come around, and then it's like, my hamstring. I don't know if I can go. Or he's like, I'm good to go. And then he puts up tour dates. He's up there putting up 5 of 16 and 3 of 21. And then he looks terrible. And then he's like, man, y'all ain't gonna guarantee me a contract. No shit. Why would I guarantee you a contract if you're shooting tour dates in the playoffs? Why would I give you an extra why would I give you 30 to 40 million if I know you're not coming through in the biggest moments? So I mean, it was a whack trade deadline to begin with, but that was probably the one that was the most interesting. The second one I'll probably just say was Chris Stapps to the Warriors. but that was more of a hypothetical because he's only played like 17 games. And he's dealing with an illness. They call it POTS, but
That boy got AIDS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they said it was POTS. They said it was POTS. Well, I'll go with the reporting POTS. But yeah, he was in the worst possible place if he had AIDS. He was in Atlanta. So for him to come over to the Warriors, I think theoretically it makes them better because of a size standpoint. And I thought it was also interesting because they got Kaminga out of there, and the whole saga with Kaminga was just funny. How Kerr didn't really like him. He was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be our next Andre Iguodala," and he was like, "Iguodala? Like I'm not Iguodala, baby. I'm he didn't want to be Iguodala." So now he gets to go to Atlanta and ball out. But that trade did nothing. I mean, there was real no good trades. I Last thing I'll say, I think the weirdly most interesting trade also was your Charlotte Hornets, Blake, getting Kobe White, which is pretty interesting.
Bro, I was
They got
pissed.
put on the map. They fought the Pistons, got put on the map. People are like,
Yeah,
wait a
speaking
minute.
of another game I was at, that was fucking crazy.
Bro, I was pissed about that trade. That shit got rescinded, bro.
It got rescinded?
No, 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 he's
Yeah.
there. He's there.
Kobe White?
Yeah, Kobe White's in Charlotte.
Nah, I don't
Yes,
think so.
yes, he is. He was at the
He's just
fight.
been injured. He's just
Yeah,
been
he's
injured.
been, he's been hurt.
He failed his physical.
Nah, nah, it went through though. It went through. He's a
Ended
Hornet.
up going through? For
Yeah,
real?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But listen,
Why were
Charlotte
they,
Hornets,
why
you
were
can
they
fail a physical
reporting?
and they'll still let you. You can have a half leg torn off and they'd be like,
Exactly.
come on
Nah, why
down.
was they reporting that he went back to Chicago?
No, 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 he didn't. Because
Who
he was on
who
the bench during that entire fight. I kept
who
looking.
are you looking at Twitter? Don
Sham.
Clean?
Sham.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey. Why do you think his name is Shams? Because he's shamming
Yeah,
people. All
exactly.
right. He's shamming
He
people.
for real? He for real still in
Yeah,
Charlotte?
no, he's a
Yeah,
Hornet.
he's in Charlotte.
Yeah, the Bulls have Colin Sexton.
Wow.
They got
Okay.
young bull on the Bulls.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I like that trade a lot. I like that trade a lot for Charlotte.
yeah.
Kobe White's a hooper.
I like that too. That fight was crazy too, especially because Isaiah Stewart was the one who gave me free tickets, which just made it so. Yeah, he literally gave like my friend tickets and stuff, and then like we were gonna see him after the game. He's not allowed back on the court because he got into the fight. Um,
Stu.
yeah, three trades stand out to me if I had to choose. Jaren Jackson to Utah because why? It's weird, but hey, let them build, do their thing. Going back to Toussaint said about James Harden, Daryl Morley, you are a liar and should never be trusted. Jared McCain to the Thunder. I really like that for OKC. I think he gave up on McCain way too fast. I know that the Sixers have guards, but if McCain turns into one of the best backup point guards in the league under Mark Daigneault and Shea, yeah, I would not be surprised at all. And Daryl Morey saying like, I'm confident we sold high on him too. I mean, look, he doesn't need motivation. That's stupid. And then the one other that stood out to me was Zubac to the Pacers on both sides. One, because I think the Pacers next year, Halliburton coming back, they have a legitimate big in Zubac who is the equivalent to Miles Turner. I know they're different, but we could call it splits there. Then they're gonna get a top 10 pick too. So if they hit on that, they could be a contender in the East next year again. I mean, obviously, you got Nemhart, you got other guys, and then on the other side,
They about
I
to get Darren Peterson.
yeah, I mean, if they get Darren Peterson, like, look, they're not going to be the favorites to win the East, but they could win the East for sure. And then the other side, I've always been high on Benedict Mathurin. I mean, he literally just dropped 28 in the finals. And so on a young Clippers team with a good point guarding Darius Garland, like I like Harden for the Cavs. I like Garland to the Clippers as much, but you sort of touched on that. I think Benedict Mathurin could still get another level and score. And I think with the Clippers and the rehaul they're doing, just wait until Kawhi has to be load managed and Benedict Mathurin goes for 25. Like, I think that I really like that trade for both sides. Like, if we have to pick a win-win, that's the one I like the most.
Yeah. I mean, shit, y'all took all mine for real. So honestly, I'm just gonna double back on what y'all said. I love the Harden to Cavs. Obviously, what scares me with that is, obviously his postseason play, like you touched on Toussaint, kind of just doesn't. He just ain't there. He just postseason comes around and he just isn't there. So, that makes me nervous for Cleveland, but I do really like him and Donovan Mitchell together. especially with Mobley still there, Jared Allen there. I think it's a good system they got going on. And then yeah, I love Darius Garland in LA with the Clippers. I really do. Especially the way Kawhi's been playing. I think that's something to seriously watch. Obviously they've dug themselves a really deep hole, and it's going to be tough to get out of that. But if they are somehow able to make a postseason run, like get in the play-in and then win their playing games and maybe get in the postseason, they're definitely somebody to watch for in terms of dark horses, especially with, like you mentioned, Jake Benedict Mathurin. He's a guy who I think is still a star in the making. I just think he needs that right opportunity, and maybe LA is that right opportunity. Obviously, Kawhi is there, so that's the primary guy. But I mean, Mathurin can be the second option there if Garland's, kind of just out there dishing the rock. So, I love both of those guys in LA. Zubac in Indiana is disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Like disgusting. I don't even think I seriously I haven't looked at Zubac's update and his reports, but if he's not, I seriously think they should not play him the rest of the year.
I'm not going
Obviously,
to. They're tanking. They're
obviously
tanking.
Obviously Halliburton isn't. Tyrese isn't playing the rest of the year. Just go and get the number 3-2 pick.
Yeah.
Like, go and get it.
They're
And
tanking for Darren Peterson. That's
and
what they're tanking for.
yeah,
Or
either
AJ.
Yeah.
draft DP, that's what I'm saying. If you can somehow get the number
AJ
one,
on that team would be nasty.
you can somehow get the number one pick and you get AJ, that is Indiana is going to be disgusting.
If they get any of
Absolutely
the top
disgusting.
four, if they get any of Boozer, Caleb Wilson, AJ, or Darren Peterson, I think they're a top three
Yeah.
team next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, no, Indiana's going to be nice. They are going to be nice. So yeah, I think those were the two that really stood out to me. I don't know if there were really any more. I think it was just, yeah, those two,
I mean,
honestly.
there's one trade that stood out to all of us, but like it just makes no sense and is weird. Anthony Davis to the Wizards.
Yeah, I
Like
just, I'm not, I can't, yeah, I don't know.
we've done enough Anthony
I
I
Davis
mean,
talk.
I see the vision because of they have a very good young core, and then you add Trey Young in there. I don't know what AD no. I think that's
it's
one of
just
the
to make them interesting. They're not winning. They're not winning jack squat. It's just to make them interesting. I mean,
yeah,
now you might tune into a game. Not be like, oh, Trey Young AD. You might turn to a game, especially if they're playing a good team. You might be like, let's see how they're doing.
My
yeah
favorite stat though from it is Anthony Davis has played what, like 27 games for the Mavericks. Luca has 28 games with the Lakers of over 30 points. Like Nico Harrison, I mean, come on, bro. Like, look,
Someone on Twitter said they should rehire him just to fire him in a more disrespectful way.
no, for real. Like, yeah. So look, not to disrespect the Wizards, I sort of see the vision. Because if he's healthy, he's good. But I mean, what's a bigger if now? Him being healthy or like I don't know. I could think of some weird hypothetical. Like he's never healthy.
yeah for sure. Um, yeah, I mean that's about it. If we want to kind of just talk about a little preview of the season after All-Star break, now we're entering the second half of the season. With postseason is going to start in a little over 2 months from now. Um, what's like one thing you guys want to see in this second half?
Um, for me, I want to see a team actually come up in the East and be that team where I could go, I feel confident picking them. Like, again, I'm not disrespecting the Pistons. I actually think the Pistons are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think the Hornets game showed that. A hot team that really isn't that good. And the Pistons said, no, we're actually good. We're going to stop you. They've been the best team in the East this year. Now you take it up another level and go, we have Cade. He's one of the best point guards in the league. Jalen Duren's an all-star. So many guys around you. Let's be the alpha. And if it's not them, I want to see, is this the year for the Knicks? Are the Knicks finally going to get it done? Or are we going to see, oh my God, no, like Jason Tatum's coming back and all that? No, I want to see the Pistons and the Knicks be like, we're the best two teams in the East. We're going to stay the best two teams in the East, and we're going to be on a collision course to play in the conference finals. And I
Yeah.
would I don't know who I'd pick there. And then on the other side, I'm really excited. Two teams I'm really looking forward to. One is the Spurs. The Spurs have always been fun. Wemby's awesome. We spoke about them. I don't need to go too much. And the Lakers, because if they're healthy and LeBron's playing well, I don't know if he's going to retire or not. You got to send him out right. And with Luka, I think they could beat any team. And so get to the playoffs with full strength and see what happens with them. I mean, look, the West is a gauntlet. Like the fact that Nikola Jokic's name hasn't come out of my mouth until now, it shows how good the West is. But I'm really looking at the Lakers and Spurs and being like, who is going to be the big dog? And Trey Kaufman-Renn, by the way, just went this my shit. He's down 14. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, I'm so glad you peeped that.
That's
I'm so
crazy.
glad you
Because he did it when they were down 17 too. Like that. Damn. Okay. Cool. Whatever. Whatever. That's it for me.
On the West side, I really want to see somebody rival OKC. Now, given the last several years, it's been a different winner. It hasn't been a repeat, and I kind of want to see that again. I don't want to see OKC dominate. But again, when Denver won in 21, was it 22?
23.
23. Okay, yeah, I'm way off. When they won in 23, everyone thought, "Oh my goodness, Jokic is the best player in the world. They're gonna repeat." And then they ran into Ant and the Wolves. What I really want to see is Ant take a step up in the playoffs. He's great through the first two series, and then whenever it comes to the conference finals, because he's been in the conference finals the last 2 years, he's had games where it's like, "Oh, I'm just scoring 20." I need him to add a different element to his game where he realizes, man, I can't be stopped. Personally, analyzing his game, I think he needs to work on his mid range. He's a three and rim guy. He shoots a ton of threes and he goes right at the rim. Teams know that and they cut off his three and they force him to the rim sometimes and double him and cut him off. Or sometimes they just don't allow him to score and they double him. And if your number one scorer in the Western Conference Finals is Julius Randle, you're not winning. You're not winning, buddy. I'm sorry to say it. You're not winning. So you have to add the mid-range to your game, step up, drop 40 a game, and get to the finals. Right? It has to be done. From the East, I want to see absolute domination from the Pistons. The first half is cute. I always think first half of the season is cute because it sets the tone. But the second half of the season, you have to blow teams. Like, I mean, you have to put your foot on the gas pedal on every game. And that's what the Pistons are built to do. And every single time that the Pistons are good, they have the same identity. We're tough, we're skilled, we're defensive minded, but we also have the ability to do anything that you want. Now, the addition of Duncan Robinson adds that to the Pistons. And it was sad to see Ivy go, but I think it opens up the rotation just a little bit more, which I like. Um, and I also want to see a second score. When Cade is out of the game, I need somebody to step up. They have Dennis Jenkins, they have Karis LeVert, who has been up and down. They have guys, but I need them to find a second scorer. Somebody that's like, Cade's on the bench, give me the rock. I'm gonna go drop 15 while he's sitting down, and we're gonna facilitate the offense. But I really just need the Pistons to lock in here because if you spend the entire, like literally the entire first half as a number one seed, and then you lose it and it slips from your grip, it's like people are gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. We see the Pistons for what they are. They're not gonna be the winners. So I literally need you Thursday. We have the Knicks on the road. I need you to blow them out. Bro, I hate the Knicks. Bro, I hate people in the media who love to ride the Knicks. Iman Shumpert was like, no, I have the Knicks, which is fine. You can pick the Knicks. I'm not saying that. But let's not act like the Knicks have not been everyone's favorite for the last 3 years. Last year, it was the Pacers who beat them. The year before that, it was the Celtics. Who's to say that the Pistons can't be that year that undercut them? It's been since 1973 that they've been in the championship. Phil Jackson went and won like 10 more titles as a coach, came back as a GM, and still couldn't get y'all to the playoffs or still couldn't get y'all a ring. That's sad. All right. So New York, listen, here's the difference. We want the smoke with New York. We want it badly. You don't know how bad I want the smoke with New York. New York Knicks fans, let me tell you, your hate for UNC and Michigan fans, that's me with Knicks fans. On Twitter, they are the most insufferable people I have ever seen. most insufferable. They make up the biggest excuses for that team. Like they don't have a guy who's literally a top 15 player in the league. Like they don't have stars and a good team and a good coach. And they make up excuses every single time they lose a big game. They're like, well, OG wasn't playing. Guess what? You still had Jalen Brunson drop 40. So you Knicks fans, when you lose in the playoffs again this year, don't go crying around, oh man, we lost it. No, no. And guess who's gonna send you home this year? Oh boy, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to the playoffs, boy. I can't wait.
Um, so yeah, what I want to see, obviously, piggyback off what Toussaint said, I want to see Detroit dominate. I want to see them lock up that number one seed. Because I got a plan for them. I want Charlotte round one. Charlotte round one. We'll get whoever round two, it don't matter. And then we want Knicks. We want New York.
Probably be like Toronto round two, something like that.
We can whoop Toronto ass and then we get New York. That's what I want.
I want
That's
New York, baby.
that's what I want. So Detroit lock up that number one seed. We'll get there. Next, as you guys mentioned, I said I want Charlotte round one. I want Charlotte to stay locked in. One, because I want to be right. I want to be right from last episode. But two, I want Charlotte to get back in the playoffs because I love LaMelo Ball. But also, I want Detroit to whoop their ass round one. Lock up, get it. I want Charlotte really, honestly, get that A seed, get that A seed, get that A seed. So we can really scrap for it. We can really scrap for it, for real. So that's what I want. And then out the West, I just want to see Luka and Austin Reeves be consistently healthy, and for this Lakers team to reach their potential. They haven't reached their potential because of health. Like I want Luka and Austin Reeves to consistently be healthy and play just play 95% of the second half of the year. And then let's just get in the playoffs and go
95.
dumb.
brother.
Go
Luka
dumb.
not playing 95% of the second half, brother.
See, that's the
It's
thing
not
that pissed me
happening.
off with Luca. That's really the thing that pissed me off with Luca, bro. If you want to be great, place who, nigga, who? Ball up
it,
top.
it ain't
Ball up
happening,
top.
buddy. It ain't happening.
So that's what I want to see. I know Jake's got to get out of here soon, so we're gonna go right into everybody's favorite segment. That's Tweaker of the Week. We've got a lot. There could be a lot of good ones.
Yeah,
There's some
geez.
good ones. People been
There's some
tweaking
good ones.
recently.
There's some good ones this
It's
week.
because summer coming up. It's because spring coming up. People started feeling the warmth.
So, Jake, I know you got to get out of here soon, so you can go ahead start us
Yeah, I
off.
probably have 10 minutes, so I'll stay. But I'll give you, God, Will Wade, I guess, and NC State fans. I mean, they're playing North Carolina. Will Wade going the other school was too stupid to pay Van Allen Lubin. And then you'll fast forward to today, like NC State's going to win this game. UNC doesn't have their two best players. And so let them have this one. The one other I wanted to mention, Tom Wilson, great hockey player, just an asshole, has always been. You're not allowed to fight in the Olympics, and then he drops the gloves and he loses to a French figure skater who's not even on the team. Like that's so soft. You're soft, and you know what you did, so you're soft. Tom Wilson.
A French figure skater is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean the
Yo.
guy has never played an NHL minute, and he ragdolled Tom Wilson because Tom Wilson got mad at him. Like it's just, it's the same script every time.
Yo. You want the big tweaker, Blake, or you
Oh
want
yeah, go ahead, do it. I mean, that could be that could be us as a collective, our
all right,
tweakers.
all right. I'll do something different. Let me do something
Oh,
different.
you can go ahead and say it.
No, I got something different for people out there.
I mean, we got to talk about it, so you can.
No, you got it. I have something that's been on my mind that's been pissing me off lately.
Okay.
Let me talk directly to the camera. To you Jordan propagandists in the media, stop it.
Hmm.
Mariah Rose, y'all know who Mariah Rose is? She's Jalen Rose's
Oh
daughter,
yeah,
but she's on TikTok. I think she's on YouTube too.
Yeah.
But she literally came out with a video that went pretty viral on Twitter, talking about how she blamed LeBron for the All-Star game being whack. She blamed LeBron for All-Star weekend. Stop it. Stop it. It's not on LeBron. Not everything is LeBron's fault. The league is terrible. It's LeBron's fault. I can tell you why it's not. The dunk contest. There is a literal, there is an interview with Ernie where he says, I'm not a dunk contest type of guy. He's not a dunk contest guy. Stop forcing him. I hold the same sentiment that he should have participated in one for the simple fact that he's LeBron. Because I would have loved to see him in a dunk contest. But stop bringing it up every year. I think what happened, you want to know why I think the dunk contest is bad? Because people realize, every single dunk that's already been known to man has already been done.
It's
They've all
done.
been done.
What is there to do, bro?
There's nothing. Why am I going to do a 360 windmill if Vince Carey already did it?
That's
Why
what
am
I'm
I
saying.
like LeBron is not gonna jump over Taco Fall in a dunk contest. He's not gonna jump over Wemby. It's not happening. Stop. Stop. These dunks have already been done. And for the people that don't want to do it, they see Mac McClung get labeled as a dunker, and they don't want to be that. No one wants to be labeled as a dunker. People don't want to be labeled as that because when you get labeled as a dunker, you don't get labeled as a basketball player. Mac McClung is a good basketball player, but they bring him up, they have him for it. Here you go, dunk, and then they cut him, and then they send him off to some G League squad in the middle of nowhere. So why would I want to do the dunk contest if it does nothing for me? You're not giving me money. You're not giving me more of a legacy. You're just classifying me as something. LeBron doesn't want to be that. All right. And for the games, KD already said it. It's not LeBron who doesn't try in the All-Star games. He's trying. It's just that you got Europeans like there's a reason why in 2023 Nikola Jokic was the last person selected. He doesn't give a damn about the All-Star game. He
He barely
doesn't
cared about the
care. Neither does Luca. They don't care. They don't care. It's
Yeah,
not on LeBron. There are certain players that get selected that simply don't show up to play because they don't care.
yeah,
Nope.
They know that they're going to get an all-star selection for the next 20 years if they want to. So they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. They don't need an all-star trophy. Like all-star game MVP is nice, but it also doesn't add much to your career. No one says, oh my gosh, he's got 4 all-star game MVPs. That doesn't do anything for your career.
yeah,
Like you have to realize all-star weekend does nothing for your career. Once you're selected as an all-star, you could show up in sweats and put your AirPods in, and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't deteriorate your legacy at all. So Mariah Rose, your tweak of the week, she was talking about how LeBron needs to be a psycho. Stop making LeBron into something he's not. He's not Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's not Kobe. Stop trying to make him into that class. Just
It's
let the
just
man
crazy.
rock.
Thank
It's
you.
okay
20
if you
years
want to
old.
think. It's okay to think that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I have no problem with that. But stop trying to turn LeBron into my MJ. He's not that type of guy. Stop it.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Some people might not think MJ to go after they seen what he just did at Daytona 500. That's,
Hey, hey, bro, that was disgusting.
I'm not
Yo,
going into details, but look up Michael Jordan Daytona 500. And y'all find
but there was some real bad tweakers this week.
y'all will find
Yeah.
it. That's honorable mention right there, MJ.
Is that what he was doing after winning all his 6 championships?
I, I don't know.
Hey, check the files, boy. Check the files. He not the GOAT no more. If he
Check
in
the
them
MJ
files.
files. Check the MJ files.
Now, if he in the big files, he not the GOAT no more.
Oh, for real, bro. No, I want to add though real quick onto the dunk contest thing. Like, yeah, there's no more dunks to left to do. Honestly, like they've all been done. So it's like I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. I think there
There's a,
is. I think there
I was
is.
just gonna say, there's a reason why Levine and Gordon don't want to do it anymore. They don't want to be labeled as dunkers.
Yeah. And you get labeled as dunkers. So yeah. I think there is one more dunk that they can do though. I think what they can do is they can tell Adam Silver to stand right under the under the rim, tell him that they're jumping over him, and then go run up and just grab his head.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah.
be tens across the board. That means tens across the
He gonna get a knee to the back of his head.
bro, that'd be tens across
Oh,
the board, I swear. I swear that'd be tens
yo,
across the
yo,
board, bro.
that would break the internet. Oh my God.
Bro, grab Adam
Hey,
Silver.
just imagine his bald head getting palmed. Like,
Bro, bro, I'm telling you, it'd be tens across the board, bro. Get creative. Get creative with it, man.
yo, I don't know if I want to see that. That'd be too funny.
Um, nah. So one tweak I have, one tweak I have real quick before we get to the big one. Obviously, is everybody's tweaker, but one tweaker I have before we get to the big one, Logan Paul. Logan Paul is tripping, bro. Like actually, the Paul brothers pissing me off, but Logan is tripping. You seriously sitting there telling Tom Brady that that you really questioning athleticism to Tom Brady? Are we
Yeah,
serious?
that was nuts.
And
He got CTE.
you comparing your athleticism to Saquon Barkley? Are we for real? You talking about the Saquon Barkley that jumped over a guy backwards? That guy? Are we serious?
Bro, he
And
fought
sit here,
Floyd Mayweather. He got CTE.
and then we gonna sit here and say he gonna sit here and try to say I'm in the WWE. Bro, what? Fake wrestling? Are you serious? Now, don't get me wrong. All right, I trust me. They be flying, high flying and shit off the top rope, whatever the case may be. That's cool. That take whatever it take that takes. But are you serious, Saquon Barkley? And then you have an argument about it to Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls. You talking about I was an all-state linebacker, gang, in Ohio? Like. Bro, in the state of Ohio, are we serious? So he pissed me off with that. Like you seriously you telling the greatest football player of all time. You really question the athleticism, telling them, bro, I don't know about your flag football game. What? That is Tom Brady. Like, what are you talking about? People literally don't work out in the NFL and then they go and dominate in WWE. Like The Rock, Brock Lesnar,
Yep.
Roman Reigns, all didn't work out in the NFL, took their ass to WWE. There's plenty of other wrestlers who did it as well.
The
So,
Rock.
like, there's no discussion. Really, no discussion.
Hey, tell him to line up. Tell him to line up with Vontez Perfect, and let's see what happens.
Oh, he'd be so cooked. He'd be so cooked. So cooked. Now he turned into Antonio Brown, bro.
Bro, he is our Antonio Brown already.
Bro, now the big one, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, come on down. Come on down.
This
Uh,
what made All Star Weekend the best weekend I could
yeah.
have ever imagined.
Come on down. That shit was crazy, bro. He got it right there. He got it right there. Kevin Durant, so
No,
exposed for a burner account. Um,
second time.
Yeah, I feel like honestly it could come out that it wasn't his burner account, but I feel like it, I don't know. I don't know at this point. It's fun to entertain nonetheless. Kevin Durant, come on down. Um, I think the craziest one was triple double cocaine bear.
Okay,
That
fair.
was crazy.
Hey,
Calling
it's
Westbrook a triple double cocaine bear.
bro, that's accurate though. It was so accurate too.
Crazy. That's crazy work. He called Jabari the R word. He said, he basically just said Sengun just sucks. He just said he's a European. What do you expect him to do? Like that's crazy. And then what do you say? Oh yeah, the one you just showed, Toussaint. He started holding Steph accountable. That one was funny. That
Yo, did
one,
you see Michael Irvin reacted to that? It was
yeah.
hilarious.
That one was funny. And I think the funniest thing of it all was just like 2 hours before the All-Star game, that shit was coming out on Twitter, and Kevin Durant's just there before the All-Star game, just walking on the court, just glued to his phone. That was the funniest shit. Get off my Dickerson 77.
Yo, he's so
Crazy.
funny.
That is crazy. And then no, one was crazy. One was crazy. He texted in one of like the little group chats he was in, and it was I guess it was like a minute before tip off. They was like, bro, you about to play in like a minute, bro. Like, why are you texting us right now? That was insane work.
was nuts.
Yeah,
I
no.
just want to know who leaked it. Who leaked that that it was his? Because that was too funny.
And what he called Kyrie? He said Kyrie was something. I can't even remember what he said Kyrie was. That was crazy though. Crazy word by KD right
Nah,
there.
he was definitely tweaker of the week.
Yeah, he's unanimous tweaker of the week.
No, he called Devin Booker and Vogel, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong Un.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy.
insane, dude, insane.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
He's wild. It's gonna be interesting when he go back to Houston. That shit gonna be real interesting. But yeah, no, that's all we got. Episode, what was it, 43? Um,
43.
what should they comment? We gotta give them something to comment.
Fuck Canada. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot the Olympics are this week. So fuck Canada. Let's go win gold.
It's,
Yeah.
that is
With that, I'm
crazy.
leaving. I gotta go on another call, but fuck Canada, go United States. You
That
know
is
how it goes.
crazy.
I'll give it to you guys to end it.
That is crazy sign off. Go ahead and comment. I feel like honestly, we right around the corner from March Madness. Go ahead and comment your national champion. I know
That's
obviously
a
it's
good
still
one.
so but yeah, comment your national champion for college basketball. It's right around the corner, so do that. Yeah, as always, run up socials, Instagram, TikTok, run the YouTube channel up, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share it out to everybody, your mom, your grandpa, your grandma, whoever. Um, and yeah, that's it. Stay fly. Peace.